So as many of you are fully aware of, we are getting a repeat community day in October. It is a couple of months away, but I do want to talk about it because I do think there's a lot of things that we should take as a positive for this particular community day. Now, I know I recently made a video regarding this particular community day about how it could be an egregious cash grab on Niantic's part, but I do think that this Charmander repeat community day could have some really great implications for Pokemon Go, and it's actually something I'm extremely excited about as a day one player. Yes, I've played Pokemon Go since the first day it was launched, and yeah, I did participate in the first Charmander community day, although I did not participate in it as much as other people did. So that is one particular reason that I'm going to get into on why I'm excited about this community day. But regardless of the fact, even if you went extremely hardcore at the first time Charmander had a community day, I still think this is one you should be excited about. But in any case, I'm going to be talking about all of that in today's video. Let's roll the intro and let's get right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count, here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to be talking about Charmander's repeat community day. I know this has been a big topic of discussion as of late, especially among OG players. A lot of people who have been playing the game for a very long time are dismayed at the fact that we are having a repeat community day. And I'm seeing it a lot on social media. Like, a lot of people are talking about how it was such a bad idea on Niantic's part. And yes, there are definitely players out there who believe this is an egregious cash grab on Niantic's part, but I will not disagree on that. There are certain elements that are pretty dangerous for Pokemon Go, especially for free-to-play players, but I already covered that in a previous video. But today I want to hype up Charmander and talk about why I think this is a net positive for Pokemon Go. Now, in regards to the very concept of repeating past Pokemon Go community days, well, if you think about it, community days have been out for a very long time, and there's been a lot of players who started playing Pokemon Go recently as opposed to playing when community days first started. So naturally, a lot of people will not have certain shinies, they will not have participated in past community days, and I really think that for them to go back and start repeating old community days while also giving us new moves that we could add to our arsenal, I think it's a really great idea, and it's something that Niantic should continue to explore. And the reason why I say this is, of course, because of those recently started players. I mean, a lot of people who started recently, they do not have a whole bunch of those old shinies that we had from past community days. So for example, with Charmander, some people have said that they didn't get their first Dratini until the recent Dragon Unlock week. And a lot of players are saying that just because a whole bunch of people were able to participate in those past community days doesn't necessarily mean that a majority of players have an abundance of those past shinies. So when it comes to Charmander, I think this is the perfect Pokemon to do a repeat community day of, mainly because Charmander is, of course, a super iconic Pokemon, and the timing is just perfect considering that we are about to get Mega Evolutions. And of course, Charizard X and Charizard Y are some of the most powerful Mega Evolutions that you could have in your arsenal. So with the launch of Mega Evolutions, why not start on the right foot by giving us really good Charmanders? And I really think that a lot of players are tending to ignore that Charizard is going to be one of the prime Mega Evolutions that you can get aside from Mewtwo. From a gameplay perspective, there are huge implications behind having Charizard with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw. I would even argue and say that it's going to be more useful than having a Blast Burn Charizard, and that's mainly because there are other Mega Evolutions that also can utilize Blast Burn pretty effectively. Blaziken is one of them. So when it comes to Charizard, it could be a very versatile fire type and dragon type attacker once it's mega evolved, and I really think that a lot of players are ignoring it. Even when it comes to PvP, I know that they are not going to be releasing megas into PvP initially, but it looks like eventually they will be releasing mega evolutions into PvP. So that means your Dragonites and your Metagrosses and your Dialgas need to watch out for Charizard once it mega evolves, because it's going to be extremely extremely powerful in the Master League. And we're not just talking about battlers. When it comes to raiding, I think Charizard has a lot of great uses. There's definitely a lot of Pokemon out there who are weak against fire types and dragon types. So of course, Mega Charizard X is going to be extremely effective, especially if it has that super powerful dragon type moveset, which is of course Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw. If you are an OG player, you should know how powerful this moveset is, considering that a lot of us back in the day were chasing after Dragonites in order to pick up this moveset. So I really feel like a lot of players are ignoring the fact that this could have some really huge gameplay implications. Now for me personally, when Charmander's first community day happened, I was actually in the middle of a vacation, so I did not get to play this particular community day as hardcore as other players did. Of course, I was still able to play and I was able to pick up about 4 shinies, but I wasn't able to play the full duration and I did miss out on quite a lot of good shinies. In terms of IVs, I think the highest IV that I got, even if it was non-shiny, was around 93%. So my best Blast Burn Charizard is only 93% with I think like 13 attack. So this is definitely kind of like a redemption arc for me. I'm really excited about this particular community day. I think out of all the community days, this is one that I was really hoping that they would repeat. So I'm really glad that it's ending up that way. But again, I totally understand that a lot of players are really unhappy about the idea of repeat community days, and I see a lot of salt going around on social media, but I honestly think that people need to take a step back and see the bigger picture. And of course, I think this does a lot of good for Pokemon Go, considering that it does dispel a lot of the FOMO that we've always been feeling. Like if we miss out on a particular community day that we were really looking forward to, like for example, if Gible Community Day eventually comes out, but a lot of people have to work, or it's during a holiday season where a lot of people would be traveling, then yeah, a lot of players would be disappointed. But if we do have the concept of repeat community days as part of Community Day, then we don't have to worry about it because we know Gible will eventually return for his own community day. And then yeah, I know a lot of players have been bringing out the fact that if you missed a particular community day, then there's always the December community day, which has all of the Pokemon that was through that year. And something I want to mention regarding that is that you will not be guaranteed a particular shiny during that community day. Like the December community day is a really nice concept, especially for players who miss out on a particular community day, but you're still not guaranteed certain shinies. Like for example, when Trico community day came out, it happened on my wife's birthday, so obviously I was really tied down for that whole day and I did not play at all. Like I caught absolutely 0 shiny Tricos, and during the December community day of that year, I still did not catch a shiny Trico. I had to trade for one way later, and it just wasn't as special as catching one in the wild. And I hear that argument come up all the time. If you miss out on a particular community day, then just trade for that shiny. But I would argue that it's still not as special as actually participating in a community day and catching that particular shiny en masse. And at the same time, I see a lot of players, if I'm missing a particular shiny from a community day, they're gonna ask for something egregious in return, like something that's a totally unfair trade. Like for example, with shiny Empoleon, I missed out on that community day, so I'm always asking for that particular shiny, but I always get requests for like shiny Riolu or shiny Chanseys in return, and it's just like it's just really frustrating. So trading is not always reliable for picking up community day shinies. Plus, if you're getting a lucky trade, like you really want to use those on Pokemon that are going to be powerful in the meta. So trading for a shiny Pokemon from a past community day is not always going to be something that players will want to do. So yeah, I honestly think there's a lot of things to be hyped up for when it comes to Charmander Community Day, and I kind of wanted to argue for it. When the vote happened, I did end up voting for Charmander. I know a lot of people were pushing for Porygon, but in my head, and I think in the heads of many others, we knew that Porygon was going to win no matter what. So it was always going to make the top 2, considering that it's a brand new shiny and there's a lot of cool implications for Tri-Attack. So I did vote for Charmander, and I'm really glad it ended up in 2nd place. So yeah, these are all my thoughts and opinions regarding this repeat community day, but of course this is a really hot topic right now, so I would love to know your thoughts down below. If you do not agree with me, I would love to know why, because there's definitely a lot of OG players that do not agree with me. But yeah, let's have a great discussion, let's be constructive, and yeah, I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you all later.